A lot of things have changed since I did the last full-on tour. I used to do this when I ran the toolbox, just all in the truck. Now I got the trailer, so we're gonna go through full, detailed. Basically, this is my giant rolling toolbox. So we're gonna do a full, detailed tour of professional RV tech tools, what I use, why I use them, things like that. So if you want to go with a deep dive on this, it's going to be a long video. So if you don't want to watch a long video, you can go ahead and click off now, because this will be a long video. All right. So just looking around, you can see how I got the trailer organized. If this is your first time, I'll just do a quick walk around. And we'll start at the front and work our way to the back. All right, so this is a new addition. This is a Vever. I got this off of Vever.com. It's a wire spool caddy. It's a wire caddy. That's what we call them. And you know, I'm also using it to hold. I have a lot of different tapes. So like that's my Gorilla tape. There's some butyl tape, painter's tape. We got Eternabond tape, underbelly tape, and then some more masking tape, and then the double-sided tape, like this Gorilla. This is like a 60-pound bonding tape, double-sided tape. That's what those ones on the bottom, the two reds, 3M version of the same thing. That tape, when you take the, when you're working with specifically changing out the Schwintek motors and the inner seal, you have to kind of move it out of the way, then you have to stick it back. And I found that all the glues and stuff is messy and it doesn't really work. I tried a hot glue. I got a hot glue gun in here somewhere. That didn't work. What works is this double-sided tape for putting those seals back on, and instead of leaving it flapping, because you kind of got to peel it back, you know, on the outside and the inside to get to where the set screw is. You got to peel it back because it's kind of cut out in such a way that the motor won't come out unless you peel back part of that wiper seal. So that's why we got this tape. You guys know why we got the wired, all different gauges. We got more on the way. Ordered some 10 gauge to go on the bottom. But all different gauges and styles of wire. McLean's cooler, which also is serves as a step stool. That's how they designed it. And then, you know, I got Vito bags all over the place. I guess we can go into some of them. I'll show you what I got in them. We got these battery holders have been working out really good to hold the batteries. That, you know, I just fasten them to the wall with drywall screws. You can see those are some for I mean, these are really these are for the 12 volts. And these 12 volt batteries that I have down here, this is really for the 20 volt batteries, this rack. But the 12 volt batteries will go into this one. They just don't click in as well. So, but they don't fall out. They just don't fit as well. They don't lock in like the other ones. So those are for my 20 volt tools. A lot of the 20 volt batteries are not up there because they're on tools. Like I have these 12 volt batteries. They're still on the tools. I like to keep them over here, but you know, I got so many that I just, a lot of them I just keep on the tools. All right, so we got a few more Vito bags up here. This one's my electrical bag. That's the MB5B. And then behind my fan here, I got this SBLD, and that's for my plumbing. The MB5B, that's my electrical loadout. So I got a combination of boxes and bags. And in the bags, I have tools so I can, grab it and go, because, I'm mobile. And what I've been finding with the trailer is it's so easy to get to stuff. I don't normally have to take the whole bag much, besides this Vito bag over here, which is the, what is it? This is an MB3, which I have turned into my what I call the go bag. It's my diagnostic bag. It's the bag that leaves the truck first. I have I keep a 12-volt DeWalt in there, a fluke contact, no contact voltage detector, a couple of WIA screwdrivers, an extension for the drill. That's what we keep in the back. We got crimpers. We got the Icon. I've been running these. They've been working out pretty good. I got the snap-on ones too, but I want to run these through their paces to see how they hold up. So we got the Icon there, and then we got another Harbor Freight. This is like their, I forget what they call these, but it's the crimpers. They're really good, guys. I have the snap-on ones too, but the Doyle. But I've been running the Doyle for a long time, and I keep the snap-on ones in that electrical bag. But in my go bag, I'm running the Doyles. We got some Knipex high leverage cutters, and then the snap-on, those pliers like that they have, the medium-sized ones. I got the larger and the smaller as well. My nut driver, and then in the front of this bag, I keep a snap-on magnet pad, a Blue Point sheet metal skinning tool, which is basically a really thin, strong pry bar, snap-on light, and a Milwaukee bit case that has all different type of bits in it. Different brands is what I mean by that, and different styles for the stuff that I use, which is basically Phillips, different Phillips squares, and one double square bit. So got my electrical tape hanging off the back, and I forget about this back pocket, to be honest with you, but I have a set of meter leads in here, Lang, for a multimeter extension, that I always forget that's back there, and I'm gonna take it out because I never remember that's back there, and I always get the ones out of the electrical bag. So I'm just gonna take that out of there. All right, so that's my essential bag that I take out before I, figure out what's going on. As I see what's going on, then I pivot into different bags, like my plumbing bag, which is a TP XXL, and I keep it open like that because it's in here and I'm using it for quick grabs. But it has the flap, it comes down, and like that. If I gotta, now I definitely, when I'm doing plumbing, I'm grabbing this bag, and if I'm working with gas, I am pulling that bag out. So the bags still do get pulled out. I just don't pull out the electrical bag much. I end up just taking out what I need. And like I said, I might have to make this a multi-part video because it takes a long time. So like this is something that you guys should have, depinning tools. This is a cheap Amazon set. They work. I was just in a jam the other day. I was replacing a logic controller in a unit, in a Jayco. And while I was doing that, they keep that. One of the wires for one of the harnesses came out because it's in a tight spot, pulling on wires, and trying to get stuff around, I had to fix that. Well, in order to fix that, I had to depin the connector. There's no other thing you could do. I had to fix the connector. I had to depin and repin the connector. So stuff like that is super handy. And you know, just various electrical tools, whatever electrical tools you use, you know, that's what's in here. These are meter leads, and this what do they call this thing? I forget what they call this this bag. Oh, okay, it's a TR something. It basically has leads in it, you know. The TR1. So that's what we got in my TR1. About alligators, couple leads, different double banana jack leads, and some back probing pins, things like that. So that's what's in the TR1. I'll close it up later. Got a little level up here, a small one. Dealing with hitches and setting up hitches. I keep a pack of these gloves. You know, working with brakes and stuff, you need gloves. And when you're working with the sewer system, wastewater system, I don't use my mechanics gloves. I don't want them to get soiled and wet if I got to deal with plumbing or sewer or doing bearing jobs. I keep those gloves. I keep a lot of different, as you can see, wrenches. This I got a lot of Snap-on stuff, but I like to point out some of the less expensive stuff that really works well. And you can get this Swedish pipe wrench from Harbor Freight. It's very cheap, and this thing is very good, guys. I've had stuff that I couldn't get off with nothing else, and it works. The thing works. It didn't break, and I keep a torch, a little Snap-on torch in here too. Thick heat shrink, and sometimes you have to do some weird stuff in the plumbing, and you need a torch. Stuff won't come out, so sometimes I have to heat up those adapters on the back of the water heaters and stuff to get it to come out. And you know, so a torch is really handy to have. Different specialty tools, like this is for like taking out the heating element on water heaters. Definitely want to have your Teflon tape. And I kind of keep a little no contact voltage detector in each bag because they put the water with the power all the time. We got different Knipex pliers in there, as well as this special tool. This is for checking for leaks. So when you want to check your camper for leaks, you need to make one of these. RVTI, you can buy this special check valve tool so that it gets the check valve out of the way. And you can pump this up so that between about 100 psi and check the plumbing for leaks. It's like a 10-minute test. All right. When I gotta pump that up, I got a Milwaukee inflator, and I can, because you're not gonna have shop air. Typically, you're using that tool in the shop. I'm mobile, so you gotta use. I use a Milwaukee inflator to pump this thing up to pressure so I can do that leak test. And there's a bunch of other stuff in here, different cutters and stuff for pipes, but it's all pretty standard. I'm just kind of pointing out the weird stuff, or some of the good, what I consider to be like the really good stuff. Now these have been my go-to. You can get this out of, I think Home Depot sells the Apollo brand for the PEX tool. That's really good. But I have since also bought a powered option in the Ryobi. That's what this is. This is my first Ryobi battery tool, and they're the only ones that make that. So I tried the DeWalt attachment that you put on your drill first, before anybody says that in the comments, it sucks, okay? The thing is awful. And I have it, and it was like over $100. It was like $150. And yeah, it's pretty awful. So see, I got my, when I just got to do a quick measurement, I have my I keep my Fluke 107 hanging up here in front of some of my other power tools. As you can see, we got 1/4 inch Mac tools, impact, 3/8 DeWalt impact, classic OG 887 heat gun, oscillating multi-tool, and an M12 cutoff tool back there. You see, I keep my Noco boost up here, along with a couple chargers and my Snap-on lights that I wear every day. Those are the Snap-on headlights that I'm charging, okay? And then we got the US General Toolbox. I recently did a toolbox tour on this box, but we'll run through it real quick. Basically, we got a lot of power tools up top, grinder, right angle, super bright Noco light, 1/4 inch ratchet, basically a Milwaukee Dremel tool, screwdriver, torque wrench that won't fit anywhere else in this box, and this awesome Snap-on rivet gun, Milwaukee 3/8 ratchet, Milwaukee nibbler, and a Snap-on bit ratchet, which is a must-have, guys. Don't sleep on that bit ratchet. Extensions, more extensions, and this one, because the box needs to go up higher, ratchet drawer with all different kinds of ratchets. Got the big Snap-on 1/2 inch. We got the little Nipros quick release 3/8 compact. I think this is Astro. This might be Astro. I have like a lot of different brands. This might be an Astro. Either Astro or it doesn't have a name. Oh yeah, it does right there. Yeah, Astro Tools. Right there. Yeah, that's Astro. I warrantied out the Icon ratchet because the viewer left a comment about it. His bits didn't go through, so mine was just wore out. I use it a lot. I wear them out quick. It's just a tiny little pin that keeps the bits from falling out, and I wear them out pretty quick. But they're Icon, they're lifetime warranty, so I warrantied it out, and I got another one. I just recently got this little Snap-on bit ratchet. So I got different bit ratchets of different makes and models. This one's cool because I can swivel head. And different, I need to clean some of these up. They look rough. But yeah, Tecton, SK, more Nipros, you know. That's the ratchet game. Sockets. Okay, so I can show you what's in the kits on this one, since this is the long video and I already warned you. So this, inside this Tecton set, this is what's in here. It's long hex bits, metric and SAE. All right, that's what's in there. Y'all heard me talk about this a lot. My favorite 1/4 inch set, this SK set. It's the best thing out there, man. This is the USA version. I know they don't make it anymore. If you could find it, it's probably old stock. The new set, you could tell they're new sockets because they start putting like a little green line on the bottom of the sockets. Those are the Chinese ones, because you know Great Star bought SK out, so you know a lot of that stuff's going offshore. All of these Tecton tools on these the short hex. So I got the long ones here, and these are the short ones. These are 1/4 inch drive. These are 3/8 drive. You know, stuff that's really tight, and I don't want to break my ratchet or bust my hand up. I get the 3/8. Smaller stuff requires a little more finesse that I don't want to damage whatever I'm working with. I get the 1/4 inch stuff. And then I got my old school. If all else fails, I can always go with these Eklunds. These are made in USA. I call them Allens. I know they're Hex. I know Allen is a brand, but that's traditionally what I grew up calling them, so that's what it is. Got a little magnet, pickup magnet, and a light in this drawer as well. All right. So all different types of pliers, all kinds of stuff, man. I'll just pan through it. You can see what it is. You could pick up on what a lot of that is. If you see something you don't know what it is, just ask me in the comments. And these are cable cutters for like piano wire, wire rope. That's a recent addition. This is a ferrule crimper. So is this, bigger ferrules. All right. Even got a couple putty knives. I had my Snap-on dealer order me a whole set of these because I had to do the scrape off a lot of sealant on the truck camper I was working on, and this was the best thing for the job. This thing is sweet. This Blue Point, this ain't no slouch either. This thing is nice. These can be used as chisels or scrapers. That's how they market them. Chisels or scrapers. All right, my big boy wrenches and my wrench extender. That's what's in here. These are for working with cable slides. That's why they're kind of off to the side. And there's a random, what do you call this thing? Needle nose locking plier. It's Snap-on. That's in there. And but my favorite locking pliers are Knipex, which is in my Knipex makes a hard to beat pair of locking pliers. I don't know if they make the needle nose ones though. I don't know. But yeah, those were my big boy wrenches, working on hitches and stuff. Hitches and hydraulics and actuators. Slide rooms. Standard size wrenches for everything else. And these are just combination wrenches. These are combination wrenches, but these are RBRTs for rounded fastener specialty wrenches, basically. Where these are standard Duralast. Some of my favorite wrenches. They feel and operate a whole lot like my like my Snap-on wrenches that I keep in my automotive box that I don't travel with. These wrenches are nice. I love these wrenches, and they got a lifetime warranty. They're really good, guys. You don't gotta buy the Snap-on stuff all the time. You get these out of AutoZone, and I don't know if they're still making them the same now. I bought mine a long time ago, but man, these are some good wrenches, bro. So yeah. This is supposed to come down, but it can't but anyway, I got a metric set and a standard set, but I mainly use a standard. I rarely have to go with metric on campers. Mostly everything's standard, and that's the same thing. This little wrench roll right here has small stubby ratcheting wrenches like these, but they're Icon. Okay, that's what these are. The Icon ones, and then I got my Pittsburgh ones just hanging out loose. Got the little micro wrenches from Tractor Supply. You need those when you're working on the sensors, the tank sensors, tank level sensors that have the spin welded fittings in the tank. And when you're messing with the wires, trying to troubleshoot that, it uses a very small nut. And one of these fits that. Mountain wrenches, these are awesome because of the offset. They help you out when you're in a jam. Specifically, I'm using this 1/2" 7/16 one, or maybe it's this 9/16 5/8 one. One of these two for getting that hard to reach top bolt off a through frame slide motor. And let's not forget the almighty crow's foot wrench. This is just a wrench ring that I got from Harbor Freight, and I got Snap-on crow's feet wrenches For the sizes that I use the most, I get Snap-on. The rest of the set is a Icon set. So I got Icon and Snap-on on that ring, and that works out really good for me. Snap ring pliers, solar connectors. This, I think Lang makes this for Harbor Freight. I think Lang. This is a rebranded Lang set. A hammer. I'll show you what they look like, and you'll know. Yeah, I think that's just a rebranded Lang set because I believe these are like made in the USA, and yep, made in the USA. So Lang makes these. That's not to say that everything that Harbor Freight that has made in the USA is made by Lang, but it will be a rebrand. It will be a rebrand because all of their products that they come up with, they are made in China and Taiwan, for the most part, according to my knowledge. So I think that's the rebranded Lang set. Snap ring pliers, you're gonna need that. Hammers, no need to talk much about hammers. We know what hammers are for. Sockets, we know what sockets are for. Miscellaneous stuff. These scrapers, I seen the guy on my RV Works. That's why I bought these plastic scrapers. Keep from marring up the paint. A big heel bar and a pry bars. Craftsman, old school Craftsman. Found that inside of Airstream when I was a dealer tech. Tools for doing your water heater service. This is the tool for putting on that Eternabond. 1/4-inch torque wrench. You need that for the torque specs when you're working on aqua hots. This drawer used to be empty, and now it's the bit drawer. So all my bits and kits that's not inside a bag are in here, and I can get to them easily. And on this Icon set that everybody is talking about and found out, like when I did the first video on it, I was very shocked that the ratchet was so sucky. And I put a Vim Tools in here. I got a Vim Tools is what I did. I kept the set exactly the same, but this Vim, it's like my Blue Point one, but shorter. Has hex for the bits on one side and sockets on the other side. So I don't have to worry about, you know, the little adapter pulling out and all kind of weird, dumb stuff. Harbor Freight should have just put a ratchet like that in there. You know, if they're watching, they need to just put that Vim Tools ratchet in there. I'm sure you can get it. Made in Taiwan. It's very similar to the Blue Point one, which is also offshore and stuff like that. Other different little bit sets. These are pretty unique. I've only seen these in Snap-on, and what they are, it's basically a wobble bit. All right, so for offset, you're working with offset fasteners. So that's what that is. So that's pretty cool. Double squares there, and then these, my half cut bits. All right. So those are basically my stubby bits, half cut bits that for working with really tight spots, especially when I'm using that power ratchet or a bit ratchet. That's money. Snap-on bit set. You know, that really is a Milwaukee bit set. This is a little micro set that came out of that Quinn pack. You're gonna need that. Some of these new thermostats, they've made the screw terminals that hold the communication wires so small that your normal small set of screwdrivers won't get it. You gotta go eyeglass level. Those type of screws. You got this Propex tool with my hole saws in here. If you don't know what Propex, it's an expansion tool. Okay. And I need to take this battery out of here so it can get used and get put in the rotation. What is it? Just like a little, yeah, a little 1.5er. Let's put that right there. And on the bottom, 3/4 inch impact by Makita. That's the house. And nut setter for making threaded connections. Big sockets, 1/2 inch drive sockets, and stuff for doing hitch work, like that big this is a socket for a hitch ball. The nut that holds your hitch ball onto your shank or whatever, for like a 5/16, 2 and 5/16 hitch ball, takes that size. On your weight distribution hitches, and just on any old drop hitch or anything like that, that fits that nut, goes on that 1/4 inch drive. All right, it's got some supplies down here. Couple cases of Dicor, a few converters. In this Vito bag, that hose hauler, I'm using that as a for my gas stuff. This bag up so I got some room. I'll grab it for you. So in the front, we got a manometer, manometer, gas pressure testing. That's the analog one. And then on the inside, we got our hoses and several different digital manometers. The best one by far is this one that a guy from Canada, one of the viewers, commented, and he was telling me about this one. This TPI, it is by far the best. It's the best one that I've used, and I've had like 5 of them. This UEI, it's not terrible, it's good. Like, you know the bad ones because I threw them away. Like, literally, like if I got one and it's not accurate, and I tossed them. So I threw like 3 of them away, and these are the 2 that made the cut. The TPI and the UEI. And the rest of them are in a garbage heap somewhere. And these are different brass connectors. You're gonna need that. You know, your test jig, you definitely gotta need that. And I got a bunch of different connectors so I can hook up to different scenarios. That's why those hoses are there in my regulator. Because I typically, during the winter time, I carry a propane tank. I have a small one in here, like a little 3-pound tank that I got rid of my 20-pound tank when I was in the truck because it was taking up so much space. And I got the 3-pound, but I'm gonna go back to my 20-pound because I have to refill the 3-pound tank too often. And I don't have time for that. All right. This bag is huge, bro. Let's see if I can do it down here. So in the front, that's got another snap-on bit set. It's a long bit set. Has an adapter, and most of it don't have any squares, so I don't use this set a lot. It doesn't have any squares in it. I need number 2 squares for pretty much all the fasteners on a camper is a number 2 square. Like those. And also electrical. You know what I'm saying? Like the screws on the electrical panel box, that's like a number 1 square. The hold down terminal on your circuit breakers, that's a number 2 square. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need squares for electrical work too. So it's not just camper specific. But this bag, let's move the wire spool. You can see I got this. Don't sleep on this. If you don't have all those different little right angle things like I have, like you see this skill, this right angle, you can put this on a regular drill. And when I was a dealer tech, this is what I had, and it worked great. And it's smaller than any of the other options. So even when this See, it's even smaller than my bit ratchet. I can get this in places where nothing else can go. And you can see how far down in the bit sits, way down in it. So you're not getting, it has a little hole in the back to push the bit out because you can't get it out. But yeah, that's super low profile. Now I couldn't use my stubby bits with this because it's already so small and it goes deep. So that's a 1-inch bit that's in there. See, when the 1-inch bit is in the snap-on, you see it sticks out a whole lot. Well, partly so you can pull it out. But yeah, when I absolutely, this is the tightest thing, and I've had to use this a lot because nothing else, literally nothing else would work. Like I would put a long extension on that, and when I had to get in weird spots, and it worked. It just works, man. Yeah, it just works. And I basically got a lot of different hand tools in there, wire tools, pry bars, all different type, you know, water pump pliers. This is the snap-on set that I normally would use for thermostats. I specifically bought this set for working with thermostats. And then I started running into those new GE thermostats that even this tiny blade will not fit. And that's why that super micro one is in there, which doesn't come with the set. That's something that I stuck in there. But since then, I have bought the, I have a couple other electronics toolkit sets, and that's what I use. I got a multimeter and some other stuff in the back. I keep a hammer. Let me pull this thing out, man. In the back of it. Of course, my tape, which is gonna go on this roll right here. That's coming out of here. All right, so my Blue Point set, which I did a video on comparing it to the Icon. This has been out for a decade, and it's money, guys. It just is, man. This thing is right. It's built right. It works good. The ratchet is long enough. Bits on one side, you know. And I keep that in here because when I'm on the roof working on like the Coleman Mach 8s and stuff, and some of those like Domestics, they have they're using hex fasteners to hold down the shroud over the evaporator coil. I got some different wire tools, like probes and stuff, different air conditioner combs and brushes, a little snap-on hammer, and my Ideal meter, as well as the Kaiweets meter. But this is the one that also does temperature, and it sucks for that because the sensor is really slow. The sensor is really slow, but it's just it's like a backup meter. You know, sometimes I'm doing some heavy electrical diagnostics, and I have like 3 meters out running tests in different places, and I need to look at them all and stuff. So yeah, that's what's in here, man. This is also a really good, this is really good for your coils. Got some, these are TSI leads. These are really good, these alligators. And then an Ideal no contact voltage detector. This has been really good cleaning out. You can see all the junk in it from me using it, cleaning out really. When I got a super dirty air conditioner, this brush is coming out. And this bag is called the Tech Pack. It's the biggest backpack bag that they have. It's what's that? This is like a big wing nut. Working with wing nuts and stuff. That's a big one too. T25. I used to have some unibits in there. I need to get some more. And I used to have another screwdriver over here, but it's somewhere in a trailer. But this is my Phillips. And these are super low profile ones. Flat. They sell these on the truck, but you can buy them off of Amazon. And when they sell them on the truck, they're the exact same brand. They don't even say Snap-on or anything. They just have that word on them. So super low profile. When you need that stuff, you need it. All right, different Knipex strippers. These cost a lot and they're not that good. I think this is an Icon, yeah. Icon. These Knipex cutters, those are awesome. My Van pliers, different pry bars, different, double jointed needle nose. As you can see, this bag has kind of been trimmed down and stuff has been taken out of it, and it's made its way to the toolbox there. Always need some bits, adapters, little pry bars, picks. And that's basically what's in here, man. That's basically it. This is my general bag. If I only could take one bag, it would be this bag because it has a little bit of everything except plumbing tools. Anything else other than plumbing, I can get it done with this bag. This is the bag that I typically strap on and take on the roof when I'm working on air conditioning. It's big and heavy, but it had everything. I never had to go back down the ladder to get stuff. Nowadays, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing this fluke meter and taking my go bag, and I'm able to do most of the stuff. Don't have hammers and stuff in it, but if I know that I'm just doing simple AC work, I could do it with that. If I got to deal with the unknown, I'm grabbing that bag. Because it's a backpack bag, it straps on, and it's easy to go up the ladder. Now, going into these power tools, I got this Makita XGT hammer drill. Okay. I got this DeWalt XR Sawzall. I got some of my gloves hanging up here. I got this. This is my main brad nailer. This DeWalt 20 volt. Then I got, for tighter spots, the M12 hacksaw. Different pry bars on here. We got a swaging tool and a large rivet gun, a manual one, along with some clamps for doing woodwork. We got a Makita LXT circular saw, 7 1/4. Behind that, we got a Makita 18 volt again, LXT staple gun. And behind that, we got an M12 version of staple gun, which is weak. And this one is good. The Makita, it does it, guys. But the M12 one, it was weak, which is why I bought the Makita. Below that, I got my DeWalt blower. And you got to get on the roof. It's covered with pine straw and leaves and stuff different times of the year. You don't want to have that. Blow the roof off. And then I got my works. This one does crown staples. This is more of a square staple, where this is your traditional crown staples, and it also does brad. That's made by Works. Bought that years ago as a dealer tech. Still use it for crown nailing, because my brad gun is just for brads, and that's basically my crown nailer. All right. Got my trash can. We got my Lang mats. They make these for Snap-on. So the Snap-on mats like that I used to buy, and then when I found out that they were just a rebranded Lang, which Lang makes them a little different. For the handle, they put an S in it for the Snap-on, but it's the same mat. besides that cutout. And yeah, I started buying the Langs because they're like 1/3 the price, and it's the same mat. Got 12-ton Daytona jack stand when I'm doing brakes and stuff like that, and sometimes hydraulic jack work. You know, when you got to change one leg of a landing gear, you need something to hold a camper up while you're taking that leg down. So I got the big boy 12-ton jacks. I used to carry 2 on here, but the other one is sitting out there in the yard, and I'll grab it if I know I need it. But most of the time, just for the unknown when I'm going out, the one is good. Got this lift table from Harbor Freight. I think this one has like a 300 or 500 pound lift capacity. This is really handy, man. Refrigerators, man. Steps, putting on those quickie steps, taking out those refrigerators when they got them 2 feet off the ground. I've even used this to put not underbelly material, but the tanks, like black tanks, replacing black tanks, freshwater tanks, something that's big and long that can lift it up even while you're under a camper. And it's just got a lot of uses. You need to get that. And then that's just some supplies. That's probably a Bristol gate valve, cable valve. I keep a couple of those. Let's flip over. I got my my Autel Power Scan, which is basically a knockoff Power Probe, but by a reputable brand that makes scanners and stuff. So it turns out to be very good. This is a cost-effective alternative to a Power Probe 4. So this competes with a Power Probe 4. See, it has a big screen, it has a circuit breaker on it, and I got 2 sets of leads in here. You know, I think it might have came with the extension leads, I don't know. But yeah, this is #1 go-to tool. 12 volt, working on 12 volt system, doing diag. This is gonna save you a lot of time and money if you got one of these. And then I have some other tools that supplement that. Harbor Freight hat. These organizer boxes, guys, you gotta have them, man. You running mobile, you gotta have. You gotta have this stuff. And you can see what I got in here. Different fuses, circuit breaker, fuse breaker types, the other kind, a lot of different ones. Your supplies, basically your shop supplies. And I got 2 boxes because there's so much different electrical connectors. This one has mostly Wagos and stuff in it because I use a lot of Wago 221. It also has some wire nuts and bell connectors. This has all my plumbing stuff in it, all my plumbing fittings. Small one and then a large one, and they clip together. This organizer has a lot of my fasteners in it. Okay, and underneath, again, this is a Mac tool on underneath it, and again, it has fasteners in it. You can't really see it, but it's more of the same. Now behind that, we have another very important kit that goes hand in hand with the multimeter, and that's this AES wave kit. If you're into doing a lot of diag work on cars, boats, or whatever, then you probably know about this kit. This is creme de la creme, This is it when it comes to leads and stuff. All your different pin sizes. I got it upside down. If you work on this stuff, you know what this is, Super, super handy, man. I hadn't found anything that's better than this. This is hard to beat. It has everything you need when you're interfacing with like those connectors that I was talking. Like I had to replace and repair that connector. You know, has your bullet style, has your Deutsch style, has your flat. You can interface with whatever you're going to run into with this kit. And it's very handy when I got to work on high-end stuff, logic controls, and that's pretty much all your new campers, especially anything that's 6 figures and up. They'll be pulling this kit out if you're smart. You're not gonna don't go trying to force your standard multimeter leads in there. Man, a small device like that might be $1,500. You don't want to mess with those electronics. Using the wrong stuff, man, it really matters. All right, this is like a miscellaneous stuff in here. I think I don't know what that is, man. I don't go in these boxes much. This has got some rivet tool in here and some different rivets and files. These have basically become like junk drawers and catch-alls, but it's some usable stuff in here, like hose clamps. This is a deburring kit that goes with my straight die grinder. This is like an old Harbor Freight. This fuse is like, this doesn't need to be in here. It's like $120. Gotta get that out of here. But all kinds of different stuff. These are basically become my junk drawers. And the bottom one is more of the same. But it has other different little oddball tools in it, like unibits and whatnot. But yeah, these fuses are very expensive. Put that in there. I should have a couple of them. I only see one. I had 2 of those. All right. In the, let's start over here again. Right angle drill, oscillating multi-tool. I was speaking of the oscillating multi-tool. I got something in my back pocket that needs to go inside of this box where I keep all my little different kits and whatnot, you know. That's what's in there. What is that? I don't know. What is that? Oh, okay, yeah. For cleaning, you know, cleaning up electrical connections, and maybe you gotta make a ground, a chassis ground or something, and you need to get the paint off. You know, blades from a Sawzalls, and blades from a multi-bit, grinding wheels from a grinder, supplies like that. That's what goes in here. Nails and wheels, that's what I labeled it. These are all my different battery chargers for all the different platforms that I have, which is a lot of different platforms. And after you got 3 different platforms, it doesn't matter. Buy whatever tool you want, no matter what the platform is, because you've already crossed the threshold. All right, we got the Skill, yet another platform. DeWalt, Skill, Makita, Craftsman, DeWalt Impact, Ryobi, another DeWalt Impact, Snap-on, cutoff wheel, which isn't as great as they say it is, I must say, with this wheel. It performs all of those specs and stats that they give you. That's with an abrasive wheel, not the diamond wheel that they sell you on the truck. Diamond wheel really cuts down the performance of this tool. It does not cut well with the diamond wheel. It's made to use an abrasive wheel like I have in my Craftsman grinder here. So just keep that in mind. Then I just got random supplies and rags in my Ryobi crates that are being held up with bungee cords because on this Ryobi link system. If you don't do this, they will just sag, bend, and tear like that one. So you got to have another Ryobi wall above it with some hooks that you can put the bungee cords on it and give it some help, man, because it needs help. We got some carpentry tools up here, a couple speed squares, extra hats, sweat those out pretty quick in the summertime. And inside this Ryobi box, which I really like, I got a bunch of hydraulic fittings and paint markers. Got my paint markers in there. And I have a big bag of hydraulic fittings. What else is up here? More hydraulic fittings. That's what's in here. This one I hadn't had any problem with, and those hydraulic fittings are heavy. But that one is solid. Because it's short, this sticks out so far, that's why it sucks. Got my Craftsman V20. This is a brushless grinder. And then I got my Milwaukee. You gotta have this, guys. A Milwaukee powered caulk gun. You gotta have this. We got another Vito bag back here that has cable TV tools. So when I'm working with the cable TV stuff, I'm using that TP6B. It has all the tools needed for working with the cable TV stuff. And then hanging back behind that is just a big old snap-on light. I'm talking about that thing is dumb bright. It lights up the work area. On the back wall, you know, I got me, speaking of cable bag, there's my box of RG6. This is a meter box. It has some more Fluke multimeters in it, like my 87.5. I got a trip light, like a waterproof meter in there, battery, load tester. I got my DeWalt table back there. We got a bunch of different control boards in here, all dinosaur boards. I got a bunch of dinosaur boards for working on different appliances when I need a control board. I got a box right here. It's basically a crate, and I keep ratchet straps and different dog bones and stuff. So when I run into a person's camper and they can't plug it up because they don't have the right dog bone or adapter, I got those in there. We got my hydraulic jacks sitting down there. Got the big Ram one that I use for fifth wheels, and then we got the tall boy, which is very versatile, has a lot of adapters and extension that makes it go pretty big. A lot of different electrical kits in there as far as like ferrules and anchors and all kinds of stuff like that. Electrical outlets, RV electrical outlets, you need that. You're gonna run into that. That's what's in there. And you can see in my clear totes all different types of supplies and equipment. There's a Thetford toilet valve that needs to go in there. I took that out of the storage building. You know, that's how I restock. Like, I buy a lot of stuff, I keep it in storage building. And then as I need it, my stock gets low, I put it on the truck. So a lot of that stuff's in storage building. Like this organizer kit is just a bunch of different rivets. And then this is my hydraulic crimper right there. So I'm making this last to an hour. I only got like 2 minutes left. This is a Porta Power kit, bearing and race tools in there, my electrical box, another crate with different stuff in here, and this one that used to be red tools. I don't know what's in here. Oh, okay. Random stuff. And that's basically what we got, guys. I'm gonna cut this one off here. If you guys want more details and stuff that you saw that I didn't go into, let me know and I will be sure to get it.